Shalom and g'day all, this is the Helium29 back again for another Fool's Gold review of some more Brian Michael Bendis. That's right. If you're new to this, you might want to go check out the previous video because I also cover how the ratings are covered, but I'll also recover it again in this video. Okay, to start off, I will rate the cover, the art, and the story, and how the cover works with that. But we need to look at one thing else: the price. How does this price convert to the Australian dollar? As you can see, we're paying a little bit more for this one shot. So what does that convert to in Australian dollars? $10.17, or just under $10.20. Okay. Question: is this cover accurate as to what's shown in the comic? No, not completely accurate, of course. Because there's a number of people here that you just do not see at all. And because of that, the rating for this cover, out of 10, a 3 out of 10. How much do I think the cover's worth? Well, definitely not fucking $10. This time around, it's falling into the 50-cent round. Right, I get what they're trying to do here, but in this case, it actually falls into the 50-cent round. The actual cover rating itself, 2 out of 10. So, let's move on to the art rating. Alright, these are just two small short pages indicating different things. One, we've got the appearance of Booster Gold, a creation of Dan Jurgens. I advise you, go read his Action Comics Superman over this. And then we've got another scene. Of course, we're not told where the location is, though it wouldn't hurt to indicate. But I'll cover that when I get to the story. Last but not least, this splash page. As you can see, it doesn't hold up with the cover. I wonder why that is. For what was done of the art, I think it was pretty reasonable. And I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. So about $2.50 Australian. So overall, artists get around $3. Let's get to the story part. Did this story cover a good time reference? In one place, it did. For the flashback at the beginning, it did not. Epic fail. What about cast of characters? Yeah, okay, identification of cast of characters. So let's move on to the thing. Next one. Comic reference. About the only comic reference that we got was at the end of this to read Superman villains. Though I did enjoy some of the dialogue in this between Batman and Lois Lane. Now, I'm thinking maybe Greg Rucka wrote it, but because of how unclear this story is done as to indicate who wrote what area. Because of one bad apple, it does in fact spoil this bunch. I'm afraid to say. Yeah. Thing is, I also liked what happened with Jimmy Olsen. Now, I'm sort of guessing that it was Matt Fraction who wrote that area. But then again, I could be incorrect because it wasn't clear as to who actually wrote that section about Jimmy Olsen. It wasn't pointed out. For all I know, it could have been Brian Michael Bendis that wrote that area. So, this is one of the problems that we have in DC Comics, I'm afraid to say. If you're going to get a group of writers to help you with something like this, it would be wise to point out who wrote what section. I mean it would be wise to point out who wrote out what section. Locations in this. I'm afraid, even though we saw locations in picture, they were not pointed out overall by the storytellers. And I'm not going by one of the storytellers, I'm going by all of the storytellers in this. So in that, an epic fail. I'm afraid to say. Like I said, there are a few good scenes in here that I did actually enjoy the conversation, but because I don't know who wrote what, and it wasn't specified clearly as to who wrote what, I'm going to have to give this story a 0.5 out of 10. I'd give it higher if I knew who wrote what in each section. But I'm afraid to say for this, you've lost me. And you can't bank on Bendis at DC Comics. And things are going to be going into the Phantom Zone very shortly. Especially with 5G coming up. And yes, Brian Michael Bendis is helping at the helm. Well, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Oh, I forgot one more little thing. How much would I pay for it? Oh, probably about 5 cents Australian for the story. So overall, this story is worth about, I don't know, $3.05. Yep, that was a waste of a $5.99 in the US. I'll leave you to do the conversion if you live in the US of how much the Australian dollar converts into the US. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed this comic or not, or if you didn't enjoy it. Be bloody open of how you feel. Until then, let's keep it colourful.